engine making was easy. Yeah, this is very good, very interesting the way to put us into it. So thank you very much. Anybody would like to ask Walter a question or two? Or was it too complicated for you as well? David is here. We actually paid him to ask questions as well.
Yeah, Walter. Yes, you've got. I completely take on board what you say about Uber pilots and who are sitting on the pinnacle of the temple of knowledge and airmanship and discipline and all the rest of it, and then making big picture decisions.
Yes.
What about the? Does that mean that you can throw the emergency checklist out the window?
If you have to, yes. And that's the problem.
If it doesn't apply.
Or you cannot expect to have everything on the book. If you come to the point that you cannot do the checklist, Sudenberger, when they did the ditching on the Hudson, they did only the first page of the dual engine failure checklist, and they adapted. Do you need to require, is it a landing distance requirement, calculation requirement? Yes, it is. If you don't have time, like these pilots that I had on the simulator, don't do it. We need to be, I think because of the power gradients were so much, they were like this in the past. We were trying to bring the captains to an even level, move away from the current mentality towards Captain Picard. But I think we missed the mark. And now we are afraid of taking a command decision. I did an approach, I had a single bleed on 320, 2 engine bleeds that takes air from each engine to pressurize the aircraft. I departed with 1 US, which is perfectly acceptable according to Airbus minimum equipment list. We're turning on final, and there goes my other bleed. So I have a dual bleed failure. Now I don't have air. I see the runway, I look at the cabin altitude, I have whatever I need. So the first officer says, Captain checklist. I says, you know what? Clear ECAM, gear down, landing checklist. Because we have what we need. And here comes the point that interview question, do you follow procedures? Right? You say, yes, I do follow procedures. Well, I have to say that day I didn't, because the ECAM came, and I decided it was less risk to land than perform the checklist that is 3 pages. The dual bleed failure is a 3 pages checklist. That means, forget about that. If I'm going to do this checklist, either I'm going to be alone on the approach, or I have to go around, and I'm not going to recover my bleed. The bleed just faulted it. The way the checklist is designed, that's why I had knowledge of the checklist. Is that checklist going to do something for us? No. Only going to increase our workload. It's going to throw us into a go-around, and go-arounds have risks. 2 engines go around, light aircraft. I'd rather go and land. Clear this is not going to solve the problem. And I put my report, dual bleed failure. A week later, I got an email. Dear Captain, did you follow the checklist? I said pretty much what I said here. I said I made a risk assessment, and I decided that the engine dual bleed was not the recommended course of action. Nobody asked me any other question. Right? So sometimes we have to have the knowledge and to have the courage to say, well, hold on, this checklist is not really going to help us.
I'm glad they accepted your report.
I have said.